Oh,
Good banter. That's some good banter. Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Good Banter with Evan Hocking and myself, Tom Siegert. We are here for another exciting episode, and I've got a bit of I'm a bit up and about because I didn't know how many people were listening to the podcast. I didn't know if anyone was listening. I didn't know what the standard was. I thought we might have been dishing up some shit, but caught up with a couple of mates over the weekend and got some really good feedback. Said they were really enjoying it. So well done. Hats off to you, Evan.
no, well, that's good to hear, Tommy. I must admit, though, I will put out a quick apology to anyone who has listened to probably the last 3. The sound quality hasn't been phenomenal.
Hasn't been great.
Hasn't been probably good. I usually when we do this podcast, I say that I'll just crank it up. I'll crank the volume up, and I'll be able to fix it in the edit. And I clearly haven't done that, so I've done a bit of a crash course. I've got podcast editing for dummies. I've spoken to a few. No, I actually spoke to a mate. If you listen to the first 2, they're very clean and crisp. Our good mate at Oink Digital, Chrissy Asher, he gave me some tips and he said, just don't have the volume, otherwise it distorts. So apologies to anyone. It was a bit hard to listen to. It was
a bit rough. And if you're picturing at home this big desk with hundreds of buttons that Evan had to fiddle with, you're incorrect, because this thing's only got 2 fucking buttons, and somehow he's managed to fuck it up. But look, he's learned from his mistakes.
Well, hopefully.
It's a case of less is more. You'll know before us. If you're listening to this and it's all distorted and a bit sounds like we're in a toilet cubicle, then yeah, obviously he's still got some work to do. But
we'll be right.
We're right.
We're 8 episodes in, I'm sure Joe Rogan had this problem when he first started. He's in a big studio now and producers and that. If you get on the Instagram, the Good Banter Instagram, you'll see what sort of conditions we're working with. We are in Tommy's front room.
In the front room here, yeah.
Front room, but that's all you need. It's 2 blokes just pouring their heart out. And thanks to everyone who has been listening, but I do apologise. The standard sound quality will be a lot better now. This is the start of something. This is start fresh, mate.
Start fresh, yeah. Just forget about those first 7 episodes. We were young. We didn't know what we were doing.
Well, the first 2, I thought,
first 2
apart
were
from
okay.
You fucked up the intro, the very first episode.
We're good. And actually,
what was the feedback like from your mates?
Yeah, not good. No, it was good. It was really
just
good.
The sound, hard.
Yeah, just the sound wasn't great, as everyone knows. But no, the feedback was really good. So it sort of got a bit of spring in me step, and we're good to go. And we had a few things to talk about this week. One of them, relevant, because the moment you walked through the door, you went in for the handshake.
And you're not. I'm huge on the handshake. I think it all stems from, I think, just Dad. Dad was big on the handshake. It was a real Aussie thing to do, the handshake. You'd shake a bloke's hand, you'd shake women's hand, you'd sort of, and it's starting to come back. I was at a gig last night, and because it's a bit weird. It's been weird during COVID. People, are you doing what do you do? The elbow. Like I've been doing some work with concreters who still aren't shaking hands.
Fair enough.
I'm thinking that's come on, fellas, harden up. Yeah, you've been playing with concrete and whatever. So I reckon you can shake hands. But it was all happening last night. Everyone was shaking hands, but you're not a handshaker.
I thought this. Well, I got a bit of a phobia of. It's not just the handshake, it's entering a room. I don't like entering a room because there's a few things.
It's good when you're a comic.
We've discussed this earlier in earlier episodes. Names. Have we discussed this? The names?
I think we did, but that was something else. There was something wrong with the sound.
I can't fucking remember names. So I'm on edge anyway when I walk in a room thinking, who's going to be here that I should know their name? Who's going to walk up to me? Hey, Tom, how you going? I'll be like, how you going, mate? But and on top of that, I get fucking... Maybe that creates the clammy hands.
Clammy.
And that's why if I'm going, I just feel like everyone's, hey, Tommy, and you're going in for the handshake. And they don't say it, but they're like, oh, fucking hell, what's he been doing? What's wrong with his?
Nervous.
Yeah, dirty little hands.
Because I have shook your hands, and you don't really have, you've never really been on a job site or anything like that. So there's no calluses.
No calluses.
There's no real, if it was just if you were wearing like an engagement ring or something, they'd be saying that woman's got very nice hands, I reckon.
Well, I've got tiny little hands too.
They are tiny.
Tiny hands, girly hands.
Did you ever, when
soft
you were
skin.
younger, try to like palm a basketball? Or
Oh,
anything like
no chance. I couldn't even palm the little mini ones that used to hang on the back of the
You'd struggle
bedroom
with a
doors.
tennis ball, actually. That's why you never played tennis.
But anyway,
hands.
so the handshake, look, I was glad it was over and I thought it may never come back, and I was sort of really getting into the fist pump and the fucking elbow and the high five, but it's starting to come back, and
surely
that's
a
making
country,
me nervous.
You're from Albury Wodonga. It would have been all handshake.
Oh, it was all handshakes. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the handshake. I also love the, kicking a goal from outside 50. I just can't fucking do it. I'm restricted. I'd love to be able to do it. I'd love to walk in a room and go, hey, John, Phil, Andrew, fucking shake my hand. How good's this? And everyone going, fuck, what a guy Tom is. But instead I'm walking in, I'm shitting myself. I'm fucking rubbing my hands on my jeans because they're clammy, and I'm forgetting fucking people's names, and I'm a mess. And that's why
I get right into the handshake as well. I am, if there's one thing, I just want everyone to go, fuck it. And I even do the double take. If, when you just grab someone's fingers.
Someone's limp little
fingers.
fish,
or there's a lot of comedians who have got around these Melbourne rooms who clearly are a lot like you, clammy hands. Small hands.
Don't get me wrong. I think I've got a decent handshake because I just can see that sometimes I just go fuck. And if the conditions, if the aircon's cranking and for some reason my hands are dry as a chip, I'm shaking everyone's fucking hand. I'm shaking the taxi drivers, the bartenders, because I make the most of it so that people don't think, oh God, he didn't shake my hand last time, but fuck, he's making up for lost time.
Yeah.
He's obviously, I don't know, but I love the handshake. I'm restricted by the clammy hand.
Yeah, right. So what's your method now? You're sort of just going to try and stick with the fist bump.
I guess so. Go the fist pump as long as possible, but it's going to be tough. I think I might just be back to giving the hands a quick dry before I go.
Do you sweat much as well?
I don't think I'm a big sweater. No,
but also your suburban footballer outfit. That doesn't get washed much, and
no,
that fucking stinks.
I can get a pong on, but I used to stink a fair bit when I was younger. But I made a mistake, and it took me longer than it should have to realise that you got
to wear deodorant.
Well, that's sort of yes, because I thought Lynx Africa was deodorant.
Well,
I thought it's basically just a scent.
So it doesn't do anything.
No, well, it doesn't
apart from
stop
get you a root if you're in the lift.
Yeah, and I wasn't in the lift much. So I thought you could just spray that on, but you need your Rexona or something.
It's more of that. I just went straight Lynx Africa.
Did you?
That was like that sort of. It's like a song or something in Lynx Africa. It reminds you of a time in your life.
Oh yeah,
where Lynx Africa was just high school for me.
Yeah,
and maybe early 2000s when I was in my 19, 20. I used to cram that on. I didn't realise it wasn't deodorant either, mate.
Yeah, I used to really under the armpits. And funny, talking about the odours, bringing back memories, I don't think I've ever heard a guy comment on another man's scent. But I went out to a little shindig Saturday night, and I wore, this is how much I wear aftershave. I thought, fuck, going out, it's been a while.
You didn't put that under your arms, did you?
The what?
You didn't put that under your arms, did you?
I pulled out the old dupe.
Ooh.
And 3 or 4 guys went,
dupe?
Are you wearing dupe? And I was like, yes, I am. Yeah, it was quite nice. And it said that was a nice little trip down memory lane. They hadn't smelled it for years. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, the dupe was out and I was out, and it was
Would you ever get that sometimes, and I don't want to seem like a pervert or a sicko, but sometimes you'll walk past a woman and you go, an ex-girlfriend of mine used to wear that or something like that.
They do bring back memories.
Still stalking her, but
yeah,
she's still wearing it.
But it's it does. It's a powerful thing. The smell.
The
smell when you're out, the music, and it just brings back some memories, some bad memories. I'm sure if you guy wearing dupe had to maybe kick the shit out of you or bloody yeah.
What are you running at the moment, deodorant wise?
Just your basic Rexona Sport under the pits.
Classic.
And
get them on special sometimes.
Oh yeah, you don't pay full price. I think anyone's paid for. It's like a Indian rug. You don't pay full price for them. You'd be fucking mad too.
Yeah.
And, a little bit of that under the pit, and obviously after big occasion, the old dupe, 2 sprays of the dupe either side of the neck.
And what you go with, you mentioned names. What is your go? You mentioned how you shit with names. What is your get out of jail card if you don't know someone's name and you're there with Tammy? What do you do?
Well, funnily enough, the guy whose party we went to has probably the greatest. We may have touched on this before.
I think we did.
Well,
but
how
we
he calls
cut
everyone
it out.
Squire.
We cut it out.
He calls everyone Squire?
Yeah.
Yeah. He calls everyone Squire, and it's and he calls his mum Squire, his dog Squire, his dad. He calls, even if he knows their name, he going Squire, and it's just, and now
Sounds classy,
he's known,
doesn't it?
and
It's
now
not like a champ.
everyone's Squire. It's he committed early. I reckon he's been doing it since he was 18, and
that's his thing.
That's
He's
his
known.
thing, and no one has ever said, "Oh fuck, Kenny's forgot bloody
name.
Robbo's name." No, it's because everyone's Squire. You meet you for the first time, or you're in his bridal party. You're Squire, which is great. But what was your question about remembering?
So if you don't remember someone's name, what do you do? Are you just g'day mate, or do you go, sorry,
Oh
mate,
no,
I forgot your name.
mate. I never say I forget your name, and I think they can see through me. I'm not a very good liar, so I just say mate, and that's why I'm pretty careful. I'll quickly sum it up. If there's 4 people in the room, you know 3 of them by name.
Yep.
One of them you don't.
You go to one of the boys and go, what's his name?
No. You call them all mate.
Okay.
Because you don't want to be going, hey, Evan, John, Baldy, hey,
G'day, mate.
Yeah, so that's pretty bad. So it's, hey, mate, see you later, boys.
Yeah, boys is always good.
See you later, boys. So I do the, if there's, 4 people, 2 of them by name, it's see you later, boys. It's not see you later, Dan, see you, Grant Lee, see you, boys.
Yeah.
So,
see, I live in an apartment complex. There's a few people we've got to know, and I'm terrible with names as well. And I had to get someone's number the other day.
phone number.
Yeah, well, we've just developed a bit of a crew. There's a few people who said maybe we'll have some Christmas drinks, because there's a lot of people who don't give you the time of day in this apartment complex. I'll almost get in front of them and wave the arm, almost shake them, go, how you going?
Yep.
And they'll just, a bit like you, they're just a bit nervous and
maybe they got
shit scared of me. And but other people have been great. They're like, we've got next door neighbours who she bought the apartment and it's great. We said, we'll catch up for drinks before Christmas. And then I saw another couple. They're country people. They're from like Bendigo.
Oh, yeah.
So they're happy to catch up. They've come down to the big smoke. And I saw her the other day and she said, yeah, we'll have to catch up for a drink. Chris, I think that's his name. He wants to catch up. I go, yeah, no worries. I'll grab your number. And I think she knew that I had forgotten her name because have you ever done that thing where you go to put someone's name in and you go, how do you spell your name again? It's like, well, it's
R-O-B.
It's Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
Rob
yeah.
with an R. Yeah, so she's gone. She said her name and still I can't fucking remember it. So when we go to catch up, I'm going to go through my phone and go, fuck, what's her name again?
God, it's tough. It's tough. I'd give anything to be able to walk into a room and I'd be a different person if I could walk in. Have we discussed this or did we cut this about?
We cut it out.
Yeah.
We cut it out.
So the bit about the tips to remembering names?
Yeah, we cut that out. We definitely. I'm pretty sure we did.
Well, there's so many things you could do. Like one thing I do is I can't remember anyone's. I struggle with their name, let alone their wife and fucking kids. No chance. So if I enter someone's, I've sort of gone through my phone, got a bit of a thing happening where, it'll be John, and then it'll be it won't just be under John in the phone. He'll be John, Jenny, Toby, Jane.
So you got the whole family.
The whole family's in there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. But I've got, so sometimes someone will ring me and it'll be like Jay, whatever. Jennifer, and he would have broke up with Jennifer a long time ago. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful, but it's a tactic that does work. It's a tactic.
The worst thing was when you used to go at nightclubs. You just get a girl's number or something, and you'd just be like, you'd struggle to remember the name anyway from a big night out, and then you get to a point where you've got, 3 Martines in there. Yeah, that's a shit name. You probably wouldn't have Martine. Jenny or something like that. 3, and you go, oh, fucking which one is it?
Oh,
you know, and I do the same with blokes as well. I mean, not at nightclubs, I don't get their numbers, but you'll have certain blokes who you meet over the journey.
Yeah.
And you've got like 3 mats, and you're like, fuck, and maybe I have to do what you do, put the whole family in there,
or something a bit descriptive,
or where you
like
met.
Like Richo, footy,
Richo, big cock.
Yeah. It's got to be just something a bit descriptive.
Bung eye or something like that.
Yeah. And just pray they never see it.
So this is my tip, though, for if you don't know someone's name. Okay, so you're going to a party or gathering, whatever, and you go, oh, fuck, I don't know their name. What I'll do, if I'm there with Kristen, my fiancée, I'll go, oh, hi, guys. Sorry, this is my fiancée, Kristen.
Yeah.
And then hopefully Kristen will go, hi, sorry, what was your name? Ba. So
I think you probably think you're being a bit tricky.
They know.
Yeah, they know, yeah. Because I do exactly the same thing, and I think everyone does the same thing. But look, I think as long as you're having a crack, there's nothing worse than that. It's good. It's good. Oh yeah. As long as I just hate that asshole that pulls you up on it. I mean,
come on, mate.
Like I've had you forget my name, don't you? And you're just like, fucking hell, mate.
Yeah.
Like that's a sign of a shit bloke. Just let it slide. Because people have forgotten my name plenty of times. You just let it slide.
And it is funny though when you've been calling someone mate for like 5 years. Then you find out their name, so you've gone mate for 5 years, and then you go, oh, no worries, Macca. Oh, Rob, whatever, mate. Great to see you, Rob. Yeah, hey, do you want a beer, Rob? He's clearly
making up for lost time.
Forgotten my name.
Another good one, and again, I apologise if we discuss this, is the alphabet one. I do this a lot. You got to have a bit of time. It can't be just open a door and they're there. You need a minute or so, but if I see someone walking towards me or you're walking to a party and you're like, oh, fuck, and so you run through the alphabet and you got to sort of say it out, almost out loud. You go A, B, C, D, E, and it's amazing how often you'll get to M, Mick, it's Mick, and it's amazing how often that'll jot, and that is my old trusty. That is
really,
it's a beauty.
Well, it is. Hopefully, you just got one person you need to know. Otherwise, it's going to be a long night.
It's going to be a long night, yeah. But that has got me out of trouble a lot of times.
You ever done the Facebook trick where you go, you're not quite sure, and you look them up on Facebook?
Plenty of times.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But
no, there's plenty of ways. Speaking of the book, I posted something the other day, and Facebook. That is, Facebook.
Social media. We spoke last week about the dangers in social media.
Did.
Run us through this, big boy.
This is something that left me a little moral dilemma.
I like the Ugg boots, by the way, mate.
You like the Uggies?
Touch
it's the shorts and the Ugg boots.
And the Ugg boots.
It's an interesting look. Well, I wasn't expecting you to put the little fucking camera up here.
Yeah, clearly.
I thought clearly. But anyway, so so Diego Maradona has sadly passed away. Legend, one of the greatest, if not the greatest soccer player of all time. I'll be honest, I'm not really into soccer.
Neither am I.
All I knew is that, when he touched the ball in the World Cup and the hand of God and all that sort of stuff. Besides that, and obviously I knew he was
into the coke,
into the cocaine. Loved his cocaine.
Well, everyone knew that, and that was one of the things. If you didn't know he was great at soccer, you go, fuck. He loves getting on the line. He loves racking up
cocaine. So I thought I'd be funny on my Suburban Footballer page, which I've always sort of probably felt a little bit hidden behind. Like it's not me. It is me, but it's not me. I'm a character.
It's basically
probably say things. I'm still not bloody, being horrible, but I'm still it's not quite me. We've got a bit of a mask on.
And a helmet.
And a mouth guard. And so I've just got a little sandwich bag.
Perfect.
Got some flour.
Great.
So it looked like a bag of a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
Stuck it to the front door. Yeah. Just took a photo of it stuck to the front door and just put it up on the page. Rest in peace, Diego Maradona.
Brilliant.
Hashtag put your bags out.
Put your bags out.
Put your bags out.
Great.
And look, it had about 200. I always check. And,
You do when you put something good out, don't you?
And it's just for more. It's because someone will tell you straight away if there's a mistake or if you're or they're a bit out of line there, mate. Anyway, I've checked. It had about 200 likes in 2 minutes, and I thought
that's a good post.
This is going to be a good post.
Viral.
This is viral. This could go viral. And then the old phone got the old bing, and I got a Facebook message.
Yeah.
And this is from someone that I know, and I wouldn't say I know overly well. I wouldn't say I know.
Do you know his name?
Yes.
If you walk into a room.
Yeah, I would know his name if I walked into a room.
All right.
Puts him in.
So he's more than just mate.
He's more than just mate. So, but I've not laid eyes on this guy for 10 years.
How's he looking? Is he?
He's aged. I didn't see him. He messaged me.
Oh,
he didn't knock on the door.
Sorry.
But
he was really upset with the post.
So, and he's written, "Look, mate," and he was pretty pissed off that I'd done this, disrespectful.
Jeez. So he's a massive soccer fan.
What would his family think? And that was one of the reasons I did it. Like, I don't think Diego Maradona's family
follow you on Facebook.
No, even days that Diego didn't die, I don't think they're on my page. But especially on that day, I think they've got other things to do.
And I think they're probably going, I'm surprised he fucking lived this long.
Yeah.
The amount of coke he fucking did.
And look, it is a good point Tom raises about the cocaine.
Yeah.
So
they're probably putting their own bags out for him.
100%. So I sort of
his dealer's in tears,
and I'm just on edge the whole time. I always doubt myself. I was like, fuck, I thought it was funny, but I did have a little question mark that he's a bit insensitive, and so I wrote back, "Come on, mate, just having a laugh. I think we're all getting a bit sensitive. I'm pretty sure his family's not following the page, especially today." And he came back saying, would you do it to if these AFL players died, rah rah? And I was like, no, I wouldn't, because maybe it's different.
Because he's in another country, Argentina or something like that.
It almost seems like he's a fictional character.
Well, that's right.
Fictional?
Yeah, fictional, yeah.
Fictional.
Non-fiction is
real
fact. Is that right?
Fictional?
So science. This podcast probably isn't, if you're looking
to learn something.
Apart from how to remember someone's name. But
fictional.
Non-fiction is fact, because fiction is a fictional book. So it's fictional character. Yeah, it's like the suburban footballer. He's a fictional character.
Okay.
He put out a fictional bag of Coke, which was a sandwich bag full of flour.
Hanging shit on a non-fictional character. But to me, he's sort of like a fictional sort of character, and maybe that was it. But eventually, and I'm just watching that, more and more likes, which...
were there any angry faces?
There was a couple of too soons, question mark, but I think that would have been a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
Because it was about 7 o'clock in the morning, so he probably hadn't been gone for that long. So anyway,
we're just checking. He hasn't gone actually.
Anyway, in the end, I just said, fuck it.
Well, what did you feel? You're feeling, because this has happened to me as well. Like, where the heart was racing a bit. You start going, fuck, I shouldn't have done it. Were the clammy hands come out?
They had clammy hands, and I just start to think, I wish I could be one of those people that didn't give a fuck. Didn't give a shit. But unfortunately, I think you either are or you aren't. You can't pretend to be. And unfortunately, I give a shit. So I said, fuck it. And even
was it only one message?
Was that? Well, it was
this guy.
Oh no, we went backwards and forwards.
Oh, sorry, but only one person.
Oh yeah, no one else was. No. And then when
did you get a few shares? People sharing it?
Oh,
you would have got a few shares.
I don't know. But anyway, and a couple of guys. So I said, mate, fuck it, I'll take it down. Yeah. And then I got a bit down on me. So it was a no-win situation, because I took it down. I was down on myself for why am I fucking giving a shit about this? And then a couple of guys. A guy who I was doing a bit of work with, he gave me a call and we were chatting about something else. He goes, what happens to your
post
about Maradona? I got up, I read it in bed, and And then I went to show some mates at work and it was fucking gone. I explained it to him and he goes, fuck, don't worry about that. And then I got a bit down on myself. But I did hear, and this is completely off topic, I was telling someone this same story today, and you're probably thinking, because I'm talking about it a lot, it's consumed my life. It hasn't. I haven't thought about that much at all. But
I looked in the cupboard. There's no flour in there. All the sandwich bags are gone.
But he was saying, a guy at work, that you know how these days people, even a long Facebook or Twitter message, people don't read. People just scan over. No one's reading shit properly.
Yeah.
When they first announced, there were people, and they obviously quickly realised after one comment that people were doing post tributes to Madonna.
Oh, yes.
Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Like that's a message you don't want to get. Just so you know. Yeah, that's
someone who's stuffed up Maradona's name. That's why you got to know people's names.
Yeah, that's more and maybe they did do the alphabet.
I think she was trending on Twitter, Madonna or something. Maybe, I don't know. I've tried to stay off Twitter a bit, but stuff like that. So it ended up, you've taken it down.
Oh, I took it down after. It was only up there for about 3 or 4 minutes. It was a fair old bloody roller coaster, 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you think, why am I even giving a fuck? I'm
especially
42.
as a comic. But also, I find as well, sometimes as a comic, you don't want to be. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Like, it's not like you've got a million. Wow. I don't know. You'd rather. It's different if you're on stage. You're in complete control. What happens in the moment, but something on social media, you just go, it's fucking not worth it. If it's one bloke, I mean, yes, he wins. Everyone else found it funny, but in the scheme of things, does it fucking matter? But I get down as well. Mine probably wasn't even as funny as yours, but I was going through a stage during COVID where I was trying to tweet a bit, come up with these tweets, and I had been working on a job site.
Yeah.
And I must admit, they're not the greatest places to be.
Okay.
Sometimes. So the tweet was, it's a bit harsh. Whenever I see someone on the news who's maybe passed away on a job site. Oh, no. Having worked on a job site, whenever I see someone, I can't remember the exact wording, but basically when I see someone, this is no wonder the fucking tweet wasn't good. I can't even spit it out.
It was a bit rambly.
I'll edit this shit out. Having worked on a job site, whenever I see
a workplace accident,
the news of a workplace accident where someone has died, I think, you lucky bastard.
Okay.
So
I think it's funny.
See, so do I. I like it, and a few people liked it. But then I had someone say, not one of your best tweets, Evan. I had someone else on Facebook hit me up and go, "Oh, I saw your Facebook thing. Oh, mate, maybe get rid of it." I mean, there was no context to it. It was just a tweet, a joke that I put out there, and it got to a point where I was out on a walk, and my heart sank. I'm going, "Oh, this has fucking upset people," and this and that. Like, I just didn't want to go there, and like. It was like you. It wasn't worth it. It probably wasn't a good enough joke.
You're always going to make someone upset. But look, you can it's a tough one. You can sort of see where they're coming from, but it's
you're never going to keep everyone happy. But also, I'd rather be on stage and someone. If you're not happy with something I say on stage, fair. But social media, it just doesn't. I don't want to go down that way. Like,
I guess it's a little bit different.
It's easy to get rid of it.
Social media, you are going into their house.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, whereas stand up, they're coming to you. So, like, I've only really had one experience with the stand up going wrong. And I wrestled with myself. Do I keep doing this joke? It was a joke about, it mentioned 9/11.
Yes.
Have I talked about this yet?
I do remember this joke, but go through the story.
So it was basically, and I haven't even thought about it for a very long time, but basically, it was I go to Dreamworld, and you know how there's one of the big rides at Dreamworld is the Tower of Terror. And it was just, I forget how word for word, but basically I went to the Dreamworld, and there was this huge tower standing 100 feet in the air, and I just said to the guy that worked at Dreamworld, I said, "What's that?" And he said, "It's the Tower of Terror." And I said, "Well, what's that?" And he he said, well, it's the most terrifying tower in the world. And I said, well, I think there's a few people in New York that would disagree.
Yeah.
And then I sort of acted out
Yeah.
that these people standing on the 80-something floor of the World Trade Center as it crumbles and the second plane's coming in and they're thinking, oh, well, could be worse. We could be a dream world. Yeah, we could be a dream world.
Fucking great joke.
It's
a great joke.
Always go well.
How, what year did you start telling that?
Probably about September the 12th.
Louis C.K.'s got a great joke about September 11. He goes, you know how bad a person you are by how long after 9/11 you masturbated. And for me, it was in between the first and the second tower falling down. It's a fucking great joke.
But and again, this was a without fail joke. It always went well. And
ripper.
But remember once I did a gig up in Brisbane, and I don't know how this girl got this was nearly before social media, and she got it might have been my MySpace or even my could you message people on MySpace?
Oh, you probably could.
Or maybe she somehow got my email, rang the venue and got my email, but she rang saying it was her birthday, she was there with all her friends having the night of her life, and then I did that joke and she lost a friend in 9/11 and I was like, oh fuck, what do you do? And every comedian was saying, just do it. Don't worry about her.
Joke.
She's got to
issues.
It's unfortunate, but she's got to toughen up a bit. She's going to hear worse than that. So I've eventually started doing it again. I did a gig up in Shitter's Ditch in the country, and I did that gig and it went great. I did that joke and it went great. And I walked out to get in my car and there was a guy out there and he said, "Do you realise," he was just waiting out in the car park. He said, "Do you realise how many people died in 9/11?
Yeah, that's why I do the joke, you fucking idiot.
Without that, the joke's got nothing.
Didn't you hear the joke?
Yeah. And he was going to start swinging. He wanted to fight me. And I sort of said, mate, I'm sorry, and I haven't done it since. And I think it's surely, like, everyone in America is doing 9/11 jokes, so surely it's I think time.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? You sort of I don't know, social media. There's too many people on social media who are upset. I look at things on social media. If I see something, I just go, whatever. That's what they think. I don't agree with it. Fucking, you really fucking, I don't know, maybe they're saying that because they care. I don't know why the fuck they're saying that, to be honest.
I don't know. Another one was, and this one actually, when old mate won the Brownlow this year.
Who won it again? Fuck.
From Brizzy.
Bloody Lockie Neal.
Lockie Neal. And there wasn't a person in Australia watching the Brownlow that hadn't discussed his wife.
Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. She was, probably because it was a different sort of a Brownlow. They didn't have as much stuff to go to, so there was a lot of footage of them. A lot of footage of them, and those two. So I just posted a picture of them and wrote Lockie Neal
as a suburban footballer.
And wrote Lockie Neal 4 votes. Didn't mention her. Didn't do anything. Yeah. Obviously, people put 2 and 2 together. The post went quite well, but I did go through, had a look at some of the comments, which I try not to do, and there are a couple of women on there going, "I used to like this page, now it's just sexist, unfollow." And then you start. But then
once again, you go, is the suburban footballer misogynist? Is he?
Yeah, he doesn't want to be, but you question yourself a bit. But you got to, I guess you got to have a sense of humour.
But also, like a lot of things, I think if I say something, I think, would my fiance find it sexist or misogynistic? And I'm sure Tam, your wife, would have gone, "Oh yeah, that's a good post," or I don't think she would be too upset, would she?
No, I don't think so.
She
doesn't comment on my comments very often. I assume no news is good news.
Okay.
So maybe that's foolish, but no, she's fine. And you think about, did Tam's boss read it if you do something full on, or did someone from work, or did you can't worry about that shit. You just got to go.
I mean, some of the stuff we've spoken about on this. I mean, if people brought up, we've spoken about shitting on this, and So, but we are getting to a point where we have got a bit carried away here, Tommy, and we need to
wrap things up.
Winding things up. You have an apology to make, Tom.
I do have an apology.
You ran your mouth last week.
And I had one job to do today, and that was print up the letter, which I forgot to do. But last episode, we were talking about footy trips, and I said, well, we've only ever had one sponsor on this show.
Yeah, we spoke to Alan from Footy Trips in the second episode. She was a ripper.
Back when things were crystal clear, the sound was good. We're in the studio. Everything. You would have heard it loud and clear. And Evan does absolutely everything. It's his sound equipment. All I do is...
Is that you subtly saying it's my fault?
No.
Evan's fucked up? Or saying that you're a lazy piece of shit?
No, I'm just saying that you basically turn up at my house once a week, give me the microphone, and I just start talking.
You may as well do this from in bed, mate. I'll just sit in a chair next to your bed and, I'll do everything. You've got me a glass of water.
Actually.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Thanks for putting on the spread.
I saw speaking of lazy, I went out last Thursday, mate going away, pulled up in the car park in St Kilda. There was a guy asked for money. He was in bed. He was on the side of the footpath.
Backpacker?
No. Just a homeless person in bed, pillow, head on the pillow, didn't even sit up.
Laying on what?
Oh, so he had the mattress. He was all decked out. He was fairly organised. He spoke very well, but he was in this little ratty little sort of park area just aside, and I thought, fuck, that is that's lazy. Like he didn't even sit up. But we actually gave him $5. He asked for $5, and we gave him because we parked right in front of him. We thought if we don't give him the 5 clams, he could.
He's going to shit on our bonnet.
Key I'm not sure if he'd have a key, but something else sharp to certainly wouldn't have a house key. That's for sure. But we do something to the car.
Open plan living.
So it's not a bad little tactic to set up camp in the car park there. But anyway, back to the footy trips. I got a bit sidetracked, sorry. So I last week, without knowing anything, you've looked after the financials, you post it, you edit it.
I don't think I do look after the financials.
Because there are no financials.
There was one financial. You looked after it and you still didn't fucking remember it.
And did I look after that?
You didn't go into my account.
Oh, anyway.
You got the money. I love how you're playing dumb with this.
So I said, did we ever get the money for that?
Yeah.
And this is our one and only sponsor. We've only been sponsored for one episode. They gave us a bit of money. It was greatly appreciated. And I just said, did they pay us? And you were like, I assume so. And then we sort of went backwards and forwards a bit. And at the end we said, well, we better edit that bit because...
And I didn't.
And you forgot.
I thought it added to it.
Just your stupidity. For everyone except Ellen, lovely Ellen from Footy Trips, who listened. And that's, again, me thinking, well, no one's listening to this shit. So I'm thinking I can say anything. But Ellen and her partner who run Footy Trips, Ellen said her partner said, I think you should hear this. And we're basically... No. So Ellen sent me this letter and I felt physically sick when I read it. It was just so you know, we've had a lot of footy trips cancel because they think we're going bankrupt because
non-financial
because we haven't paid the bills. And I was like, oh fuck, this is no good. We've had one sponsor and we made
pissed their right off.
Meal of it. But it got to the end and started developing a little bit of humour, and in the end it just said, P.S. just so you know, we're pulling your leg, but feel free to plug the Footy Trips. So Ellen, apologies. It's going to be a big year for Footy Trips. So here's your plug. You never miss Footy Trips twice. You don't deserve to call yourself a footy club if you miss 2 in a row. Footy Trips, no one did 2020, so everyone should be doing 2021.
And simple also, it's not just football. It is, rugby. It is netball. It is badminton. If you're in a team, you don't even have to play sport.
Just go on a trip.
We might have a podcast, a good banter podcast footy trip.
Yeah.
We don't even play.
Why not?
We're just the two of us, you and your clammy hands, up in Cairns or something
that'd
like
be
that.
clammy in Cairns, I tell you what.
Oh,
Be wearing gloves. But one thing she did say, because I rang her up and I was like, oh, fuck, sorry. And and I said, how's business? Good starting question when no one's allowed to leave the street. And she organises travel. But she said actually they had 12 or 13 trips organised for the year, and she said normally it was something like 3% of people don't get there. 3% of clubs don't get their bond back, which surprised me because I'd be 50% of my footy trips didn't get the bond back. But she reckons it's only 3%. But she did say that the 12 footy clubs were obviously hardcore because there's no footy. So they're going on a footy trip with no footy. And she said it went from 3% to up to about 70%. So not many went, but the ones that went really painted the town red.
And that would have been because there was always that bloke at the club, mate, I've been on 10 straight. I haven't missed a footy trip.
Not missed one.
And there would be those guys saying, I don't give a shit. We didn't play this year, but I'm still going on a
we'll go. I don't care. We can't leave the street.
I mean, they did play up in Queensland.
Yeah, I guess.
And
so,
it was really just Melbourne we've copped it. But
we've copped it. But,
footy trips.
Footy trips. So there you go. Book your footy trips with Ellen and the crew. And, just remember the poem.
They did. No, very good, very good.
All right, so that's it for episode 8.
That's it. If you're enjoying the podcast, like I said, the sound is a lot clearer on this one, so we do apologise. Get on the Good Banter Instagram page. We'll keep things ticking along over there. Tell your mates about it. I think there was a bit of a drop off from episode 6 to 7, and that could have been due to the sound. So if your mates dropped off and said, I can't listen to it, we're back on. So get them back on board. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I think that's about it, Tommy. So enjoy your week or whatever, and we'll
that's it. Soon. Yeah, we get dangerously close to episode 10. Episode 9 coming up soon.